Good morning and welcome to Qigong Live Online. This is the advanced class. So what I thought today we'd do, because somebody asked me the other day about the pairings of the meridians inside the body. And there's two different distinct ones. There's a few others, but there's two very distinct ways that people see the meridians. The first one is the pairs that they have in the 5 elements. So if you have your lungs, you have your lungs and large intestine, yeah, and so you have them as pairs. And you have the spleen and the stomach, and they go through, and each of the 5 elements has their pair of meridians, and they're connected together. Those pairs are connected internally as well, inside the body as well. But there's another way you look at the pairing, and it's called the Jing Luo. The Jing Luo is that you have a meridian in the arm that's connected to a meridian in the leg, and they can be either same side, and sometimes you can connect them across the body. And they're called Jing Luo's pairing as such. And so I want to talk about the Jing Luo pairing, because quite often we do exercises for the 5 elements. And we do the spleen and the stomach exercise, and we do the heart and the small intestine exercises, and the lungs and the large intestine, and we pair those up and we do exercise. So we're going to change it today. We're going to do exercise for the Jing Luo, and I'm going to do 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to do this week. I'm going to do the yin ones, and then I'm going to do the yang ones next week. And there's 3. We'll do a set of 3. So the first one I'm going to do is the arm tai yin, the meridians are called, they call the arm tai yin and the leg tai yin. Yep, and that's the spleen is the leg tai yin, and the lungs is the arm tai yin. Now the tai yin means the greater yin in the body for English translation. And so they had this connection, they understood this connection, and there are points that connect these 2 meridians. And there's also Qigong exercise. I'm going to do one today to show one of the exercises that connects those 2, the hand and the foot. Tai Yin exercises. We're going to do Tai Yin, Shao Yin, and then Ju Yin. We're going to do all 3 of them for you today. So anyway, we'll bow into class, and we'll go through those. And we'll, as I say, I'll do the other 3 next week. I'll give you 3 different exercises for the next ones next week. Yeah, cheers. Roll back onto your thumbs. Gong. Very good. Good. So the first one, as I say, and we're going to use an exercise called floating silk hands from the Taiji Qigong system. So a lot of these, the 3 exercises I'm going to choose today, you can use them for different things. You can connect them up in different ways, but we're going to connect floating silk hands up today with the spleen and the lungs. We're going to connect those 2 up because that's the arm and the leg Tai Yin meridians. Yep. So first of all, we're going to show you the exercise. If you've never done the exercise before, we'll show you the exercise. Make sure we know what we're doing first. So the hands come straight to the front. And your right hand, I'm going to mirror you. So your right hand palm turns up, and the hand comes back. Comes up at the back. And then it comes forward. And as it goes towards the hand turns over and it slides across the top of the hand. Now I'm going to show you this from the side so you can see this. As we come up, hand comes up the back. As it goes forward, the hand turns over, and then it slides across the top of the hand. And you feel the energy of both palms going past each other. You're going to feel the warmth between your hands. It goes there, and the hand palm stays down. The other one comes back up, and it goes forward towards the hand. The hand turns over, and it slides across the top, and you can feel the energy moving across the top of the hands. Yep. Good. So we're doing that exercise. So now that we understand how to do this exercise, and the key point of this exercise, keep your elbow down at the back. So when you bring your arm at the back, the elbow stays down. You don't bring your elbow up. You keep your elbow down, and it comes forward from the elbow down. Yeah, comes back, elbow down, comes forward. Now it's coming from the waist. I'm turning my pelvis, and it's turning the hips. Turning the pelvis, turning my hips. Yep. Turning my pelvis, turning the hips. Perfect. Turning the pelvis, turning the hips. So now we'll talk about the meridians. So we know that we'll just stop there for a second, just bring the hands back down. Now we know the spleen meridian comes up from the ground. It comes up from your big toe, comes up through your body, and ends up underneath your arms at a point called darbel. And so it comes up center of the body, end is under here, ends under there, yep. Now we know that the lung meridian starts just up here with the collarbone, so it connects from darbel to lung 1 through the internal pathway, and then it comes out through the hand. So as it comes up through the leg, as we turn and we breathe in, we bring the hand back, comes up the spleen meridian, and then it comes down the lung meridian, which goes to your thumb, and it comes out through the thumb. So breathe in through the spleen, and then out through the hand, through the lung meridian. Yeah, cool. Breathe in through the spleen, and then out through the lungs. Into the spleen. It's coming up both spleen meridians, but it's only going out one lung meridian. Going out the lung meridian is going forward. Breathe in the both spleen meridians, out through one lung meridian, which is the hand going forward. There you go, nice and simple. And we add the breath, breathing in as you come back, breathing out as you go forward. Breathing in as you come back. And now this is connecting the arm and leg tie-in meridians together. Now in the past, in the ancient days, they never used to call them the spleen meridian or the lung meridian. They weren't called that. They were called the yin, the tai yin or tai yang or ju yin, ju yang. And so they were called that. They weren't actually called the spleen and the lungs. The spleen and the lung terminology, using them calling the spleen meridian and the lung meridian, came later. The original wasn't that. The Chinese character for the meridians, they didn't associate the lung organs and the spleen organ to the actual later on, because they actually were talking about the meridians themselves and the energy of the meridian. And as they tie, it's a big meridian. The spleen big meridians, lung big meridians. And they just saw them as that. But then they found out later on, of course, that there was an organ attached to them. And now when we're talking about the spleen, people immediately think of the spleen itself, the spleen, little tiny spleen organ. But when I'm talking about the spleen, I'm talking about the two big spleen meridians. And I'm thinking of those. I'm not thinking of the organ that just happens to have an organ attached to the spleen meridian. But the most important part is the spleen itself. That's why when you can lose your spleen, you can have your spleen taken out. But the spleen meridians don't go anywhere. They're still existing. They're still operating. So the most important part is the energetic piece of it. Now, I'm not saying that the organs don't have their function, but they're functioning because of the energy that's coming from the meridian. Talk about the liver, I'm talking about the liver meridians, not the liver organ. The liver meridian just happens to have an organ, and it's called the liver organ. So now we're doing this connection with the spleen and the lungs, connecting the Jing Luo. One more to the other side. Sorry about the rocking noise of the boulders. They decided to deliver a truckload of rocks next door today, and they've decided to unload them right now. It just is what it is. Very cool. So that's the Tai Yin. So now we're going to go to the Shao Yin, which is the lesser Yin, and we're going to use exercise. We're going to use scoop the earth, and the lesser Yin, and the arm and the leg. The arm's the heart meridian, which is the little finger, and the leg Shao Yin is the kidney. So we have the kidneys and the heart connection. So we know the kidney comes up from the bottom of your feet, comes up and finishes underneath your collarbones, either side, just underneath your collarbones, and it's going to go through the heart, and the heart meridian starts underneath your arm and comes out through your little finger. Yep. So this exercise, scoop the C. So we're going down and we're breathing in. As we breathe in up the kidney meridian, and then we're going to breathe out the two heart meridians. Yeah. So we're breathing in the leg Shao Yin, which is the kidneys, and we're breathing out the arm Shao Yin, which is the heart. And now we're connecting the kidney and the heart together. It's great how Chinese medicine, because we're a network of meridians, a network of channels and diversion channels and connecting lows and extraordinary vessels, storage vessels. There's a whole network of it's like the wiring diagram in your car. There's wires all over the place inside our body that connect with everything energetically and help the function, because everything runs on energy. The whole body's doing that. And so they had names for them and how they connected them. This is how they're connecting the arm and the leg. Shao Yin. So the breathing, we breathe in when we come up, and we breathe out when we go down. Breathing up the kidney meridian and out through the heart meridian. There you go. And that's how we connect them together. And there's exercises in different systems that have this connection of the, not only the 5-element pairing, the heart, small intestine, kidney, bladder, but we also have the Jing Luo. And this is just giving you an example of the Jing Luo connection and an exercise that does that. Really simple. Breathing in. And breathing out. When you go to the bottom, do alternating hands at the bottom. If you're not already doing that, goes the opposite side. Comes up. When the hands come up, the arms don't touch on the way up. There's a gap between the arms. Breathing out. Gap between your arms, so you can see when I bring them up, there's a hollow. There's a gap between the arms. They're not touching. They come up, turn over. Because as soon as you touch the arms, it changes the circuitry that's happening inside your body by the physical contact. Because the energetic pathways. And out through the shoulders. When you do this exercise, I can feel my little fingers swelling up with the energy going out through them. And you will be able to do too in time when you practice Qigong. You'll feel it coming up the kidney meridian and out through the heart meridian. Perfect. There we go. Long, slow breath in. Long, slow breath out. And when we lower ourselves down, so we're going up, we're actually lowering ourselves down as we go down. As we go down, we're bending our knees, we're lowering ourselves. When you do this, don't stick your bottom out. So you lower yourself down, scoop the earth, part the clouds. That's what the exercise is called. It's from the Shao system, if I didn't mention that before. All 3 exercises today are from the Shao Taiji Qigong system. I'm just using them because they have these exercises, these connection exercises, the Jiu Yin exercise inside their set of exercises. Then, so I'll turn around so I'll show you what I mean. When you're going down, what you don't want to do is stick your bum out like that. Don't stick your bum out like that when you're coming down. When you come down, you want to keep your back straight. So as you lower yourself down, yeah, you keep your back straight. And whatever how low you can go with your legs with having a straight back at the same time, that's how low you go. Don't compromise your straight back to go lower. Because of course, if I bend my back like that, of course I can go lower. But I'm compromising my straight back. So you want to keep the straight back the whole time. However low that is, it will depend on your suppleness, of course. It will depend on the suppleness of your legs, your hips, your spine. That'll have a lot to do with the compromisation of how low you can go. Cool. We'll do 2 more. Breathing in. And then breathing out. Good. The next one we can call it, the exercise is called painting a rainbow in the sky. Now this is for your liver and pericardium. Liver and pericardium are the arm Jiu Yin. Your arm Jiu Yin is pericardium, and your leg Jiu Yin is your liver meridian. Yeah. Now, Shao Yin, by the way, I did it before. Shao Yin means, Tai Yin means greater. Shao Yin means lesser yin. And this one, the Jiu Yin, is it's either called invented yin, inverted, no, not invented, wrong word, inverted yin, or perverse yin, or sometimes called faint yin. Faint as in F-A-I-N-T, faint. So that's what the Chinese character represents. It's either inverted, so rebellious, or faint. So it's a different aspect of the yin, but the understanding of why they call it that, you'd have to understand traditional Chinese philosophy about why it is, especially why it's got to do with the liver meridian. And so I won't go into too much of the detail there, but you can find that out quite simply. You can look it up and talk about the Jing Luo Yin meridian and understand the principles of why they call it that. There's detailed information about that. So painting the rainbow in the sky. So it's going to come up the leg and out the pericardium. But we're going to set the exercise up, if you haven't done this exercise before, the palms face the ground to start off with. You bring the energy up the liver meridian, turn it over your eyes, and then push it out. It goes out through the pericardium meridian. Hang on, I haven't told you where they are yet, just in case you don't know. This is an advanced class, so hopefully you already know where they are. The liver meridian comes up from your big toe. Now, your spleen's on the medial side of your big toe, and the lateral side of your big toe is where the spleen comes up the body, and finishes about 3 fingers underneath your nipples, underneath your nipple and your rib cage. It's right between a rib, the last liver 14. So it finishes there. And Jing Luo Yin starts just on the other top by your nipple, starts at the top and then goes over the top and comes out. And it comes out through your big finger. Comes out through your big finger. That's the end of the pericardium meridian, yeah? So we're breathing up through the liver, breathing out through your hands, yeah? So we'll go back to the exercise. Sorry about that. I should explain that first. Comes up from the liver meridian. Turns over and then goes out through the pericardium, which is your big finger, yeah? Your middle finger. Take a breath in. I'm going to mirror you. You're going to go to your right side first. And as you go to the right, you bring the hand out to the side. Yep. And I'll stop in that posture. Now I've moved all the weight from one side to the other. And I've got like a bend in my body. And my body's arcing this way. I'm facing that way. The arm's not straight. It's got a slight bend. And at the top hand, the palm's facing up towards heaven. And this hand's facing out. Now you'll quite often see this exercise done in some forms of Shiva where they turn around and have the hands this way. It's just a different application of what's happening, but we're going to project the energy out, so we're going to go that way. We breathe in as it comes up, and we breathe out the pericardium meridian, which goes out from your nipple, from your breast, out through your hand, out through Lao Gong, which is pericardium 8, and it also goes out through pericardium 9. 9 goes to heaven, 8 goes to heaven, goes to the earth that way. Yep. So we breathe in the liver meridian, and then out through the pericardium meridian. Breathe in through both liver meridians and out through the pericardium meridian. And this is how we connect these 2 meridians, the foot and the leg and the arm. Sometimes they call it the foot and the arm. The leg and the arm Jing Luo Yin meridians. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Feel the stretch. You feel like you become a banana. You're stretching down the side because you actually want to stretch because you're stretching your gallbladder meridian and you're stretching your liver meridian at the same time. Then comes up to the top and then breathe out. Now the breathe in, the interchange of the breath happens at the top. So as you breathe in, and you get to the top where you're double weighted, and you breathe out as the hand goes down. You breathe into the center, and then breathe out as it goes down. Now you're also watching your hands with your eyes. So you watch your hand come up, you change your gaze onto the other hand as it goes down as you're breathing out through the pericardium. Breathing in through the liver, out through the pericardium. Into the liver, out through the pericardium. Try and keep your shoulders down. Try and relax your shoulders as much as you can. Make sure you don't have a straight arm. And you're going straight side to side. Yep. So there's no turn of the body. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I mean. So there's no turn. As I'm going to the side, I'm facing you this way. Yep. And as I go to the other side, I'm facing the other side. So I'm going evenly from side to side. And I'm not turning to the front. I'm not rotating around to the front to turn this way. I'm looking to the side. It comes up. So my spine is going from one side to the other. Good. I'll just turn back to the front. So what I'm saying with my spine's going this way, and this way it's going to one side to the other, yeah? And it's twisting that, so you're bending your spine one way, and then you're bending the spine the other way. And this is good for the spine. It keeps the fluidity in the spine, keeps the flexibility in your vertebra in your spine. It's one of the exercises that, of course, we want to keep our spine relaxed and exercised, and the muscles and the ligaments nice and relaxed and nice and flexible our whole lives, because if they get locked up, then now you can't bend over and you can't move anymore. So that's why a lot of the Qigong exercises have exercises where you do rotations of the spine, you do forward and backward movements of the spine, and this particular one's going side and side of the spine. Yep, and you want to be doing all of those so you keep your spine completely. So you can move your spine whichever way you want to, and it's complete flexible. And the spot just goes backwards and forwards. And there's no tension in it. You don't want any tension in your spine. And you'll keep your spine and all the muscles of your lower back nice and strong as well. Yep. So we'll just finish that off. I'll just go back into the finish that exercise. Remember, we'll start from the bottom. We'll do a couple more times. Hands come up the liver meridian, out the pericardium. Go to the right side first, in the liver, and then out through the pericardium, into the liver, out through the pericardium. Nice and relaxed, breathing in. Do it nice and slow. The in-breath and out-breath is the same duration. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the in-breath, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the out-breath. It's a beautiful day. I'm looking up at the sky. It's a blue sky day here in Bali today. It's hot. We had a bit of rain last night, so there's a lot of humidity today. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. Very good. Last one. Bring your hands to the top. And then bring your hands down and you return the chi back to the lower dantian. So you return all the surplus energy back to your lower dantian to store it. There we go. And we've just finished the exercises and they've just finished throwing the rocks. How's that for timing? They've just driven off. Anyway, so that's the exercise. If you have any questions about those three, let me know. And what I'll do next week is I'll do the other three. I'll do the yang ones. And I'll find an exercise each for those exercises where you do the connections of the yang. The Tai yang, the Shao yang. We'd do those as well. There, right? And so have a great weekend. As I say, if you have any questions, please ask. You're very, very welcome. Have a great week. It's a lovely day. It's a lovely day every day. It's what's inside your mind, inside your heart. No matter whether you're in conflict, no matter where you are in the world, go inside your heart and find some peace in there, because nobody can touch what's inside your heart. Have a beautiful day. Go. And step back. And bow to each other. All the best, everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.